Season 4 is upon us. Opening day in this episode for our Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. And for the first time in this series, it feels like we actually have a good squad that should not only be competing for a playoff spot, but is currently the favorite to win the division this season. We've called up some great young players. We've made some moves in free agency. Some have worked out, some have not, but the rebuild has gotten to a point where hopefully some success is on its way here in this season. We'll be playing in the rain here in PNC Park to kick off this brand new year. I am super excited for a new season of the Pirates. We have very exciting rookies here. Here are our projected leaders, and we have a win projection of 92. My personal win projection, probably like 90, so I'm right in line with what the game thinks we will be this year. No surprise, once again, Paul Skenes will be on the mound for opening day here, kicking off a brand new season. Taking a look at what he did last year. Whip 1.25, but a 2.84 ERA. Really solid stuff. Taking a look at where we lie. We are the 4th ranked team in baseball to start this year. 2nd in pitching, 4th in speed. Now we only rank average in terms of our offense still, and slightly below average defensively. And I think that is in part due to Billy Fink playing shortstop. He's certainly not a defensive stalwart there yet. And then Joe Adell is an acquisition we made to play center field, who's also not really much of a defender. We'll see how that ends up working out for us. We're still not one of the worst defensive teams in baseball by any means, but we aren't the best. And hopefully it doesn't negatively affect our pitchers' stats this year too much. I know that was one of the arguments in last episode for potentially getting Taveras to play center field rather than Joe Adell. And as kind of I predicted, there wasn't, a ton of support for the Joe Adell signing in the comments. But I wanted to take a risk, and we'll see how it does today to kick off his Pirates career. Brady Singer will be on the mound for the Rockies here to begin this season. Out of the pitchers we faced on opening day, he's probably the worst, and it makes sense. He is a Rockies pitcher. Billy Fink hitting leadoff, cracks this first pitch of the season out to the left center field gap and gone. Season 4 of Pirates franchise is off to a magnificent start with a solo shot by the number 1 prospect in all of baseball, putting on a show at the home plate here. I have him with a home run celebration, but it's certainly not that. I don't know what caused him to do that, but can't have a better start offensively for the Pirates here in this brand new season. Hitting in the 2 spot for us to start this year will be Brian Reynolds, coming off a really solid year for us a season ago. Chops it over to Singer here to begin the season this time around. Jazz Chisholm, I can't imagine he'll be better than he was last year. In fact, I think it'll even be difficult for him to replicate it. But he was so awesome for us in his first season. Spencer Horwitz back to rock in the number 6. He loves changing numbers here. Strikes out looking here, but the solo shot from Billy Fink gets us on the board in the first. Before we get any further in opening day, I just have to take a quick pause to shout out Michael Yoshida for becoming a member here on the channel. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoy our Pirates scouting deep dives and all the other members-only content that we'll have continuing to upload on the channel in the days and months to come. Let's get back to some Paul Skenes pitching. Up to lead off the second inning is Ezequiel Tovar here. He gets a hanging, breaking pitch there and crushes it off the left field pole for a 387-foot home run. A solo homer to answer that of Billy Finks in the first inning. I must admit it is pretty fun here to see the Rockies here on opening day. Of course, the team that I rebuilt a season ago. They don't have a ton of players that I had in that series because, of course, it was a draft-only franchise. But we will be seeing Zach Veen play here in this game, which he was a fun player to have in that Rockies series for sure. We'll see him here hitting in the 8th spot. Swinging at the sinker well outside the zone. A nice way to finish the inning for Paul Skenes. Tied at 1 apiece here, now bottom of the second. For us, the 5-hitter against right-handed pitching will be Victor Robles this year. Leadoff for us a season ago. I don't think he quite had the season that I or Pirates fans were hoping for in his first season in the black and gold, but hopefully hitting down the lineup will help him have a bounce back year as he is an impending free agent after this season. David Yan, the other top 5 prospect that will have his rookie season this year, gets on base with his first plate appearance of the season, and we're really hoping that the combination of Fink and Yan will be the driving force behind us turning the corner this year. Joe Adell in his first plate appearance as a Pirate, certainly not impressing anyone as he grounds into the 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. Top of the third now. Paul Skenes going against the 9-hitter in Amador. Into foul territory. Yan settles in underneath it for the first out of the inning. 2 gone now, 3-0 pitch for Nolan Jones, the Rocky killer. A season ago, this time sticking with the Rockies. Sorry, not a season ago, but a game ago. More like. McMahon got on base the first time around, and Fink with the throw to retire him in the third. Still 1 apiece, 2 hits on both sides. Albert Sweeney is surprisingly projected to lead us in average. I don't think he would be my pick for that, but that is the MLB the Show projection for average leader. He'll be playing DH for us against right-handed pitching, first base for us against left-handed pitching here. Tough out with Amador making an excellent play defensively there. Top of the lineup back up. Billy Fink able to get a 2-out single on the board. He's 2 for 2 to begin his brand new season. There's, I think, a feeling that I have at least that this offense and this team might go as far as Billy Fink will take us this season. He'll need some good performances elsewhere as well, but if Fink can even have a high fraction of the production he did last year when we were calling him up through the minors, things will be looking good for Pittsburgh here. A strike 3 pitch at 103 on the gun here to lead off the 4th inning. Now back-to-back strikeouts. We haven't really seen as many strikeouts here from Skenes as we are used to in his starts, but he gets 2 consecutive punch-outs here in this inning against Tovar, who had that earlier home run. Akil Baddoo with 2 outs here. And a quiet inning for Skenes as we head to the middle of the 4th. One thing that I've seen ever since that leadoff home run from this Pirates team is just way too many one pitch outs from this team. We won't get that here, but we will get a strikeout here for Brady Singer. Not the most impressive, I called him maybe not the most impressive opening day starter we've seen so far, but he does have that high walks per nine that often leads to success in this game, and he's had some good success here as Spencer Horwitz gets a bloop single there. Robles. This one is going to be another 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. Our offense is ice cold since that first at bat. Low in the zone, Miguel Amaya gets underneath it, and Joe Adell able to range over for the catch. One out here, top of the fifth. 55 pitches on the night for Paul Skenes. And this time it'll be us getting the one pitch out to end the fifth. Both pitchers doing a really nice job keeping the pitch count in a reasonable spot to go deep into this game. I mean, we're only talking at 43 pitches so far for Brady Singer and David Yan. Probably the best discipline on the team. Drawing a walk there. Joe Adell, no, not again. That's the third 5-4-3 double play we've had in this game. Two of them from Joe Adell. That's certainly not the start I was hoping for from Joe Adell. We know he's going to be much better against the lefties, but still have some high hopes that he'll progress some this year against right-handed pitching. There was the comparison made to we just got rid of O'Neill Cruz to sign another one with Joe Adell. I think that was something that was mentioned a couple of times. I don't really see that, if I'm being completely honest. I think they have really different skill sets, and the whole thing with O'Neill Cruz was that he just needed a change of scenery. Now, I'm hoping the same was true of Joe Adell. You know, if we weren't the Pirates and O'Neill Cruz was struggling this much, O'Neill Cruz would be the exact kind of guy that I would want to take a chance on as well. That somebody that has the talent there to be good. It hasn't worked out so far, but maybe a change of scenery can, jumpstart them. So if you want to make the comparison to O'Neill Cruz, fine, but that's honestly kind of what I was looking for, somebody who needed a change of scenery. So that's my thought process there. 2 for 2 on the night. Billy Fink adds his third hit now, as Pittsburgh offense is looking for any signs of life here. Billy Fink has been producing at a high clip for us. He needs some others to join the party alongside him, though. Can we get something going here with Brian Reynolds? He will get a runner in scoring position as Billy Fink steals his first base of the season. Now an RBI opportunity. Brian Reynolds smacks this one to deep center field. Doyle has some range, but he can't get to this one. Off the wall. The throw is in, but it's an RBI triple for Brian Reynolds, finally. Another run on the board for Pittsburgh. The first time we've shown any sort of sign of life since the opening inning. Reynolds got a great hold of that Brady Singer pitch there. And it puts the Pirates back out in front here with one out in the sixth inning. Now, the Rockies would decide to pull Brady Singer at this point. I think it was maybe a little premature. He allowed back-to-back hits, sure, but his pitch count was in a good spot, and he'd been really kind of tearing through our lineup otherwise. Jazz Chisholm makes it 3 straight hits and also picks up his first RBI of the season with a ground ball single there. Horwitz, that one's fair down the third base line. Mishandled by Nolan Jones in left. Could that make a score? And it does. Nolan Jones. A mistake in left field leads to the 4th Pirates run of the game, the 3rd of this inning. Robles now with a hit. Jones once again throws in, but the runner will hold at third. Runners on the corners now. Still one out. Bringing in Dane Dunning hasn't helped at all. David Yan, well hit to left, hauled in by Nolan Jones. He's had an active inning. Not going to get down for a hit there, but a sacrifice fly makes it 4 6th inning runs for the Pirates. Finally, a bit of offense off the bat. Joe Adell, can he keep it going? He chops it to short. By the way, if they needed 2 outs still in the inning, that probably would have been the 3rd time Joe Adell grounded into a double play in his Pirates debut. But luckily for him, they only needed the 1 out. Tovar, the only member of the Rockies to get a run via his solo home. Flies out to the foul territory out in deep left field here. A walk of Akil Badu here to would be the end of the night for Paul Skenes here. 6 1/3 innings with 1 earned run for the time being. Carmen Mlodzinski comes in to replace him and gets the outs needed to finish off the inning. Paul Skenes in line for both a win and a quality start here if the Pirates can hold serve for the rest of this game. Jared Triolo, still hitless so far on opening day, gets a nice pitch, and that's going to be another single. We struggled so long getting good contact on the ball. We were swinging out all these first pitches, getting these 1-pitch outs in the first 5 innings here. Don't tell me we're going to do it again. Almost another double play, dude. What is with this offense in this game? That one off the glove of Adele Amador. Brian Reynolds will get another hit. Very hard struck. It would have been another great defensive play by Amador had he been able to haul it in. But Brian Reynolds will lead to another pitching change here. Now Alec Jacob into the game. That one's a grounder to end off the 7th. No runs aboard for Pittsburgh. Top of the 8th. Mlodzinski stays in, striking out Amador to kick the inning off. Second punch out of the game. Nolan Jones with 2 outs here. He strikes out as well. Mlodzinski comes in, gets 5 really solid outs for the Pirates here. Now we just need to not allow a crazy 9th inning comeback, and we'll be good. 2 outs here, bottom of the 8th. Doesn't look like we're really going to be adding any additional runs here, and a fly out by David Young confirms that to be the case. Since, of course, we are up by 4, no need for Jojo Romero to enter the game. Instead, Colin Holderman will try to close this one out. 3.53 ERA, 1.43 whip. A little high, as his walk rate was above 10% last season. Has a 3-2 count here for Ryan McMahon. And the sinker just below the zone. We've got a leadoff walk. This one could be a 5-4-3 double play, and the throw from second is off. Former Gold Glover Jared Triolo throws Horwitz off the plate, but this time 3-6-3 double play to end the game. Finally, we get one of our own, and it's to clinch the opening night victory. We've had some good success on opening nights here in this series. It hasn't maybe resulted in as much season success as I would have liked up to this point in the franchise, but the hope is certainly there for a really nice Pirates season in year 4. Let me know what your win projections are for this team after seeing them for the first time in action this season. The Pirates kick off the season with a 7-2 start here. Billy Fink hitting 394 early, and David Yan hitting 407. So the young guys are swinging a really good bat, and the Pirates are winning some games here. If you're wondering what maybe the next generation or the next kind of swarm of players that will be called up, I think you got to think of guys like Thomas Coyle, who we will watch pitch for the first time next episode. You also think about players like Termar Johnson. I think with Triolo and Gonzalez not really making big impressions, either of them, to this point in the series, although Nick Gonzalez is off to a scorching hot in AAA, you could see Termarr Johnson, who's not off to a great start, but he's certainly very close to a call-up. You have guys like Robinson Brown, who is called up to AAA for this season. If he plays really well, he could be called up this season. You have guys like Buford Kingman, who at 24 years old, very likely to make his MLB debut this year. If we have anybody disappointing in the outfield between Adele and Robles, we can replace either of them with Buford Kingman playing right field. We could either replace Joe Adele by bringing Robles into center, or just replace Robles with Kingman straight up in right field. But those are kind of the next guys I think on the list that we're considering for call-up situations. Pedro Ponce also, you can lump into that, but he might be a little bit more away despite the fact that he is a higher overall right now than Robinson Brown. But that is it here for our Season 4 debut episode. Got a win on opening day, and we're off to a great start so far in the season. But we've got a whole lot of Season 4 baseball ahead of us going forward. Hope you're excited for it. I certainly am, and I'll see you then. Let's go Bucks.